one of the big issues is he's a big fan of right to work. We're seeing right now in studies that are coming out the last couple of days what right to work has done to middle-class families across Wisconsin. It's driven down wages. It's driven people out of the middle class.
Wow.
And he wants us to pass right to work legislation here in Illinois. Can't do it. That will hurt right where we are right now. This is the heart of the middle class.
Wow.
Maywood is the heart of the middle class. And that type of legislation would hurt us even more than we're hurting right now.
Wow. So what is it that the cities, the townships should be doing right now to, besides reaching out, blowing up your telephone and hollering and saying you're not doing your job, or calling down to Springfield? What is it that the community can do to get this straightened out before we really get into some really... July is just hitting here. We haven't... Maywood, Bellwood, Melrose Park is known for being hit with the floods. We haven't even hit the flood season yet. What is it that can be done?
Well, I mean, I always welcome the calls and visits to my office, but I've told the folks that have been calling and visiting with me, and you know, we're talking to as many people that want to talk to us, but basically they're preaching to the choir. And so what I've been trying to get folks to do is take that same advocacy that you're coming to me with and take that to Springfield. If you can't get to Springfield, pick up the phone and call the governor. Call the governor. He has an office in Chicago. He has an office in Springfield. Call his office and make sure they take your name and phone number and write down the issue you're calling about. One of the things that's going on this very week is the child care advocates are speaking up loudly, because in this budget, come July 1st, the governor's trying to impact dramatically the community care program. That impacts children, families with small children, and families with elderly that need help. And the governor wants to cut the CCP budget dramatically.
What is the CC budget, for those that don't know?
Community care program. We provide daycare subsidies for families that need it. We provide home care workers that come out to visit homes of seniors that may need extra assistance. Okay. And those are the very things that will go away come July 1st if the governor doesn't sign the budget that was passed by the Democrats.
Let me ask you this question. President Barack Obama signed into legislation about the health care law. Half of the people here, and it took them, they still don't have Medicare. What is going to happen to those individuals? And we understand that you're going to be fined. How does that work? And how is the state... yeah, go ahead.
Well, we're talking two different things. There's Medicare, which is for our seniors.
Okay.
And then there's Medicaid, which is typically for those who are less fortunate and can't afford to have insurance otherwise. Obamacare has provided funding to states like Illinois that has allowed us to see significant enrollments in our Medicaid population. On health insurance rolls. And this governor has proposed cutting Medicaid funding significantly. He campaigned last year. He told us what he would do. He said that he would not have supported Obamacare. And so he's not doing anything that he didn't tell us he would do. So people really shouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
You know, you have to give the guy credit. He's actually doing what he said he would do. You know, and I think this is a result of, like I said, a protest vote. This is a result of people not going out to vote because they were disenchanted for whatever reason. But where our state is right now, the middle-class families stand to be hurt the most, the poor, elderly, and the developmentally disabled.
Wow.
The actions that he has taken to date go right to the core of those constituencies.
Now, I know there's a educational development center right over here in Maywood for educational deprived children or with special needs. Will that affect them as well?
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely. Wow. Any organizations like that receive funding from the state, they need to be paying attention to what's going on in Springfield right now. And as I said, pick up that phone. Make a phone call if you can't get in your car and come down there. But as the weeks pass, I think more and more attention is going to be put on it. But I'm hoping that we can, reasonable minds can get to the table and come up with a compromise solution. I mean, clearly, we cannot pass a budget based on cutting everything. I think we should probably have some reasonable cuts in the budget. Illinois is in a fiscal condition that dictates that, but we cannot cut our way to a balanced budget. And what the governor is not willing to sit and discuss right now is adding any new revenue to the budget that would help us continue to fund some of these programs. And he won't even have that discussion right now. And here we sit, continuing our legislative session into the summer.
So as we go into the summer with this issue, is there another avenue where the state can come together, come to heads together? Is there any other way?
Well,
or you can't really say right now?
You know, the only thing that I see happening right now is I see us headed toward a government shutdown.
And what would happen?
Critical services would be paused. You know, give you a perfect example that everyone can relate to. If your driver's license is expiring or you need some type of service from the Secretary of State office, that's probably one of the first ones that'll have to close down. If the authority to spend money stops June 30th. There's no new budget in place. And come July 1st, there's no authority to spend money. People in the state, state workers that get up in the morning, go to work every day, work hard for a living, come July 15th, they're going to be looking for paychecks. Those paychecks will stop. They won't be able to pay their mortgages and pay their rent and pay their child care and things of that nature. It's just a ripple effect. And there's state workers all across the state. Every community is going to feel the impact of us not coming to an agreement on this budget.
Is this another way of moving the African Americans out to the suburbs?
Well, I think
where Section 8.
I don't think it's a race issue. I think it's a class issue.
Okay.
I think this is class warfare. I think this is the 1% attacking the 99%. And when you look at legislation like right to work type of legislation, that's so big businesses can make more money and pay folks less, whether you're black, white, or purple. Folks need to make a living wage and go to work and be proud of the check that they're bringing home so that they can take care of their families.
So how will this affect the TIF fund? I understand people have been talking about TIF funds. Different townships, villages have been giving a certain amount of money for the TIF funds. I just found out about it and told that if you don't act on it in enough time, it'll be sent back to the state.
Well, actually TIF funds, TIF stands for Tax Increment Financing Districts.
Okay.
And those are created by local bodies. So the village of Maywood, through local ordinances, can create local TIFs. They use those TIFs to help spur economic development. And that's more of a local issue than a state issue. So what's going on at the state level won't necessarily impact TIFs right away, but certainly there are some things that we're doing that would impact those local municipalities. And one of the things the governor wants to do is cut what is called the LGDF fund. That's the Local Government Distribution Fund. He wants to cut that 50%. Illinois is one of the states that has a state income tax. You pay income tax.
Okay.
And states, since 1969, when the income tax was created, the state shares a portion of that income tax with each local municipality. They've come accustomed to that. And right now, the governor has proposed a budget that would cut their share 50%. You cut that share 50%. Let's forget about the TIF discussion for a second. Let's talk about the LGDF. You cut that share 50%, and you're going to probably have a lot of these local municipalities laying off policemen, laying off firefighters, public works people. That's where this state budget is going to dramatically impact local government. We also fund our schools. We don't get this budget in place come August, a lot of these schools won't be able to open on time.
Oh, wow.
Don't let those schools open on time. You're going to have these parents in an uproar.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things in the budget, we have $19.5 million in summer employment for youth. The kids are getting out of school. Some schools are already out. They're looking for things to do. If we don't keep those kids busy and off the street, they can end up in trouble, and bad things happen to them. This governor right now doesn't support the Summer Youth Initiative and would probably veto the $19.5 million in the budget. We need people calling the governor saying, sign the budget bills that the Democrats passed and we'll be sending you so that we can put these kids to work this summer.
You got to give us a call right now, 708-233-0030. That's 708-233-0030. Smooth 90.5 FM, WGSJBC Radio. Rob G. broadcasting live here with State Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch. He came all the way here into Smooth 90.5 to talk about the state issues, the problems that what the governor is not agreeing upon, where the state reps are pounding on the table and asking, please understand that we need to get this done. Schools are going to be closed up. Families are going to be hurting. Mortgages are going to be hurting. If you want to talk to your state rep right now, he's from the 7th District. 7th District circumference what area?
7th District has about 108,000 people in it.
Okay.
Most of our districts have about 108,000 people. Maywood is right in the center of my district, the heart of the 7th District, and I also go as far east as River Forest. I can actually see it from this beautiful office here. We go up to the Harlem Avenue is our border, all of River Forest, Forest Park, and then we work our way back east, Maywood, Bellwood, Broadview, Hillside, Berkeley, Westchester, where my office is located, and folks are welcome to come visit me there anytime.
Right on Roosevelt Road.
Right on Roosevelt Road.
Right across the street from the police department?
I'm a little further
down, by the bridge.
East, and then I'm right across from a flower shop.
Okay.
So you can come and visit the state rep, and then you can go pick up some flowers for your wife or girlfriend and go home and score some points.
And then if you need car insurance, you can go right next door to Allstate.
There you go.
Well,
absolutely.
We want to get a clear understanding what the state is doing and what they're not doing and how we can be a part of it, because you can talk all the technical jargon, but a lot of people cannot comprehend it and understand it. So you have to break it down to everybody. That's why I asked you, tell us exactly what you mean. What is the TIF fund? What is the JCC and all these names and everything? Because we hear it, we see it in the paper, but it's not broken down. The media does not break it down exactly until you hear from your state rep exactly what it is that you need to understand about. If you're not looking at the news, you need to start looking at the news right now, because this is very serious.
Now, we serve 2-year terms, and I'm in the beginning of my 2nd term. And I'll tell you, I'm still learning all the acronyms because it's so many. And then when you think you know them, you get hit with the medical field has so many of them, it's ridiculous. So
Is there a little chart or a guide where someone can take a dummy chart?
There's too many of them. So what I try to do is just try to keep it real and basic for everybody. At the end of the day, this is a fight for the middle class and protecting what's important to all of us here in the 7th District. Most of the districts across this state look like this district. What folks can do is just speak up. When you're quiet and silent, people they either take that as acceptance of what's going on, or they just don't know that you want something different. So you have to speak up. Speak up. We hear you when you're speaking up. That's why, everyone that calls my office or emails, we keep track of that. I need to know how my constituents feel, and I would hope that the governor feels the same way. So we're encouraging folks to call his office as often as possible. If you got a different issue tomorrow, call him again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a little short commercial break. Smooth 90.5 FM, WGSJBC Radio, broadcasting in the Eisenhower Tower on the 3rd floor. Looking over this wonderful expressway, moving at a nice pace right now. It is 91 degrees. Traffic is moving approximately 15-25 miles per hour down 290. Kingery Highway has a little backup going on right there. Bishop Ford is having a little construction traffic going on, but we're going to go to a little commercial break right now, and we're going to talk back with
Since America began, we have publicly honored God. Our Declaration of Independence